Did you know that certain mistakes could actually transform your healthy eggs into something potentially harmful? I've been studying nutrition for years, and what I'm about to share might surprise you. Eggs are widely celebrated as a nutritional powerhouse. They're loaded with high-quality protein and packed with essential vitamins that our bodies need. But here's the shocking truth many people miss. If eggs aren't handled properly, they can become detrimental to your health in ways you've probably never considered. Whether eggs benefit or harm your body actually depends entirely on how you prepare, store, and cook them. In today's video, I'll reveal 5 common mistakes that can turn eggs from beneficial to harmful. Some of these might really surprise you, especially if you've been preparing eggs the same way for decades without giving it a second thought. Once you understand these crucial mistakes, you'll be able to continue enjoying your favorite egg dishes without worrying about hidden health risks. Stay with me until the end because this isn't just about avoiding problems. It's about making simple adjustments that can significantly impact your health and well-being as you age. I'll explain exactly what happens when eggs are prepared incorrectly and share better alternatives to keep them as the nutritious superfood they're meant to be. If you want to make sure your morning omelet stays health-boosting rather than potentially harmful, you won't want to miss this information. Before we dive in, if you find this video helpful, please tap that like button and consider subscribing to our channel. It really helps me continue creating valuable content for wonderful folks like you. Now, let's get started with the first mistake. 1. Overcooking your eggs. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make when preparing eggs is cooking them at excessively high temperatures. While eggs contain wonderful protein, healthy fats, and essential vitamins, exposing them to too much heat can trigger harmful changes in their composition. When you overcook eggs, whether by frying until the edges turn brown and crispy, boiling until the yolk develops that grayish-green ring, or scrambling at high heat, they undergo a process called oxidation. This leads to the formation of compounds that aren't good for your body. Oxidized cholesterol, in particular, has been connected to increased inflammation and higher heart disease risk, something especially concerning for those of us in our senior years. Have you ever noticed that strong, somewhat unpleasant sulfur smell after boiling eggs too long? That's actually a clear signal they've been overcooked. This happens when sulfur from the egg whites reacts with iron in the yolk, forming iron sulfide. While not toxic, it's a definite sign that heat has damaged some of the egg's beneficial nutrients. Let me share a quick story about my friend Robert. At 76, he enjoyed eggs for breakfast daily, always frying them until they had crispy, browned edges because he preferred that flavor. But over time, he began experiencing digestive discomfort and frequent heartburn. After learning about oxidized cholesterol, he switched to cooking his eggs over gentle heat, soft scrambling instead of aggressive frying. Within just a few weeks, he felt remarkably better, less bloating, and more energy throughout his day. Another concern with overcooking is how it destroys key nutrients. Eggs naturally contain vitamin B12, folate, and vision-supporting antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin. But exposing eggs to prolonged high heat significantly reduces these essential nutrients, meaning you might miss out on their benefits even though you're eating eggs regularly. The good news? You don't need to give up your beloved eggs. Just be mindful of how you cook them. Try preparing eggs at lower temperatures. Light boiling, poaching, or gentle scrambling helps preserve nutrients while minimizing those harmful oxidation effects. If you enjoy fried eggs, using lower heat and avoiding browning makes a tremendous difference in keeping them healthy. These small adjustments ensure you get maximum nutrition without unnecessary health risks. Simple changes, big benefits. 2. Consuming raw or undercooked eggs. Many people believe that eating raw or undercooked eggs provides maximum nutrition, but this common practice comes with serious health considerations, especially for those of us over 65. While eggs certainly provide excellent protein, vitamins, and minerals, consuming them raw can expose you to harmful bacteria, particularly Salmonella, which causes severe food poisoning. This is especially worrisome for seniors because our immune systems naturally weaken with age, making it harder to fight off infections. What might cause mild discomfort in a younger person could lead to dangerous complications for someone in their golden years. Have you ever enjoyed homemade mayonnaise, tasted raw cookie dough, or preferred your eggs with runny yolks? If so, you may have unknowingly put yourself at risk. Salmonella contamination isn't common, but it's certainly not something to dismiss lightly. The symptoms include fever, stomach pain, diarrhea, and potentially dangerous dehydration. For seniors, this can quickly escalate into a serious situation requiring hospitalization. While many assume store-bought eggs are completely safe, even the cleanest-looking eggs can harbor bacteria if they haven't been properly handled throughout the supply chain. Let me tell you about Margaret, a vibrant 68-year-old who loved starting her mornings with a raw egg smoothie. She'd been doing this for years, believing it was the optimal way to absorb all the nutrients. But one morning, she experienced severe stomach pain and nausea that persisted for days. After visiting her doctor, she was diagnosed with salmonella poisoning. She never suspected her morning ritual could have been the culprit. After switching to fully cooked eggs, she never experienced another episode and continued getting all the same nutritional benefits without the risk. There's another reason to avoid raw eggs that many people don't know about. Raw eggs contain a compound called avidin that binds to biotin, an essential B vitamin supporting metabolism, nerve function, and healthy skin and hair. When consumed raw, avidin prevents proper biotin absorption, potentially leading to deficiencies over time. Cooking eggs deactivates avidin, allowing your body to benefit from all those wonderful nutrients without interference. Some people insist raw eggs are perfectly safe if they're organic or free-range, but the truth is that any egg, regardless of source, can potentially carry bacteria. The safest approach is ensuring your eggs are fully cooked, scrambled, hard-boiled, or poached until both whites and yolks are firm. If you enjoy runny yolks, using pasteurized eggs reduces the risk, though thoroughly cooking them remains the safest option. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment, too, below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss any future videos. Your support helps me continue creating helpful content for wonderful folks like you. Now, let's continue to our third common mistake. 3. Improper storage of cooked eggs. Many of us don't think twice about how we store eggs after cooking, but improper storage can transform a perfectly nutritious meal into a breeding ground for harmful bacteria. When cooked eggs sit at room temperature too long or aren't stored correctly, they quickly become unsafe for consumption. Bacteria multiply amazingly fast in warm environments, and once eggs reach what food safety experts call the danger zone, between 40 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, harmful pathogens can begin growing within just a few hours. This is particularly concerning for those of us in our senior years, as foodborne illnesses typically hit older adults harder than younger individuals. Have you ever left a plate of scrambled eggs on the counter for a couple hours and then decided they were probably still fine to eat? If so, you might have unknowingly put your health at risk. The longer cooked eggs remain at room temperature, the more likely they are to develop bacteria like Salmonella, Listeria, or E. coli. While refrigerating cooked eggs helps slow bacterial growth, they should always be stored properly in an airtight container and consumed relatively quickly. Hard-boiled eggs, for instance, should be eaten within a week, while scrambled or fried eggs are best enjoyed within 3 to 4 days. I want to share a story about my friend George, who's 72. He liked preparing a large batch of scrambled eggs at the beginning of each week to save cooking time. He'd keep them in a loosely covered container in his refrigerator, grabbing a portion each morning. But after experiencing several bouts of stomach discomfort and nausea, he realized his storage habits might be causing problems. After switching to airtight containers and making smaller, fresher batches, his digestive troubles disappeared completely. Another issue many people overlook is cross-contamination. If cooked eggs are stored near raw meat, unwashed vegetables, or other potentially contaminated foods, they can absorb harmful bacteria. Many folks assume cooked eggs are completely safe because they've been heated, but once cooled, they become just as vulnerable to bacterial contamination as other perishable foods. One mistake that often goes unnoticed is improperly reheating leftover eggs. Have you ever microwaved leftover eggs and noticed they developed a rubbery texture or unpleasant odor? That's because eggs don't reheat particularly well. Overheating them can destroy nutrients and create an unappetizing texture. A better approach is gently reheating eggs on the stove over low heat, adding a little moisture like a splash of water or broth to prevent drying. If you must use a microwave, heat them in short intervals, while stirring occasionally to maintain a better texture. To avoid foodborne illness and get the most from your eggs, store them properly. Keep them refrigerated in sealed containers and consume them within a safe time frame. The way you handle food makes all the difference to your health, and something as simple as proper egg storage can prevent unnecessary digestive issues and keep you feeling your best. 4. Using damaged or expired eggs. One of the easiest ways eggs can become a health concern is by using ones that are cracked, expired, or improperly stored. While eggs might look perfectly fine from the outside, if they're past their prime or have even tiny cracks in the shell, they could be harboring dangerous bacteria like Salmonella. This is particularly important for those of us in our golden years, as aging naturally weakens our immune system, making it harder to fight off infections that younger people might recover from more easily. Have you ever opened your refrigerator and wondered whether your eggs were still good? You're definitely not alone. Many people rely solely on the printed expiration date on the carton, but what many don't realize is that eggs can sometimes spoil before that date or last slightly longer, depending on storage conditions. The most reliable way to check freshness is with a simple water test. Place an egg in a bowl of cold water. If it sinks and lays flat, it's fresh. If it stands upright, it's still okay, but should be used soon. If it floats, it's best to discard it. I'd like to share a story about my friend Evelyn, who's 74 and has always been careful about what she eats. However, she never thought much about checking her eggs before using them. One morning, she cracked an egg into her frying pan and noticed an unusual smell, but brushed it off and cooked it anyway. Within hours, she started experiencing nausea and stomach cramps. After visiting her doctor, she learned she had food poisoning from a bad egg. From that day forward, she began doing the water test before using eggs and never experienced another issue. Another crucial factor is how eggs are handled before they even reach your home. If eggs have been stored at improper temperatures, whether at the store, during transit, or even in your refrigerator, they can develop condensation, creating the perfect environment for bacteria to multiply. This is why it's essential to always store eggs in the coldest part of your refrigerator, not in the door where temperature fluctuations occur more frequently. Cracked eggs present another hidden danger. Even if an egg appears fine when you purchase it, tiny hairline cracks can allow bacteria to enter. If you accidentally bring home a cracked egg, it's safer to discard it rather than risk your health. The same applies to eggs with unusual odors or discoloration. These are clear indicators they've spoiled and shouldn't be consumed. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Your support helps me continue creating content that helps keep us all healthy and thriving. Now, let's move on to our fifth and final mistake. 5. Using unhealthy cooking oils with eggs. One of the most overlooked mistakes when preparing eggs involves the cooking oil you choose. While eggs themselves provide excellent protein, healthy fats, and essential nutrients, the oil you use can significantly influence whether your meal supports health or contributes to inflammation and long-term problems. Many people don't realize that certain oils, especially highly processed vegetable oils, break down at high cooking temperatures, creating harmful compounds that can damage your body over time. If you've been frying eggs in margarine, vegetable oil, or refined seed oils like soybean, corn, or canola oil, you may have unknowingly exposed yourself to trans fats and oxidized lipids. These unhealthy fats have been linked to increased inflammation, heart disease, and even cognitive decline in older adults. Unlike natural fats that your body processes efficiently, trans fats interfere with normal cellular function, potentially causing long-term damage. Seniors particularly should be cautious about fat intake, as chronic inflammation connects to various age-related conditions, including arthritis and cardiovascular issues. Let me tell you about Frank, a 78-year-old who had been cooking his eggs in vegetable oil for decades. He never gave it much thought, assuming oil was just oil. But after learning about the risks of processed seed oils, he switched to healthier alternatives like butter and olive oil. Within weeks, he noticed feeling less sluggish after meals, and his digestion improved significantly. He didn't change what he ate, just how he prepared it. And that simple shift made a noticeable difference in how he felt every day. Another issue with cooking oils is their smoke point. the temperature at which they begin breaking down and releasing harmful compounds. Many vegetable oils have relatively low smoke points, becoming unstable when exposed to high heat. When this happens, they produce free radicals, unstable molecules that can damage cells and accelerate aging. If you frequently fry eggs at high temperatures using these oils, you may be introducing unnecessary oxidative stress to your body. A better approach is choosing oils that remain stable under heat. Butter, ghee, coconut oil, and extra virgin olive oil make excellent choices for cooking eggs. These fats not only enhance flavor, but provide essential nutrients supporting brain health, heart function, and overall well-being. If you prefer a lighter option, avocado oil works wonderfully as it has a high smoke point and a healthy balance of monounsaturated fats. The key message here is that it's not just what you eat, but how you prepare it. Eggs provide fantastic nutrition, but when cooked in the wrong type of oil, they can transform from a health-boosting food to something potentially contributing to inflammation and disease. Making a simple change in your cooking habits can significantly impact your long-term health, ensuring you receive the full benefits of the eggs you enjoy. Final thoughts. Now that we've covered these 5 common mistakes, take a moment to consider how you've been preparing and enjoying your eggs. While eggs truly are one of nature's most nutritious foods, small changes in cooking, storing, and handling can make the difference between supporting your health and unknowingly putting yourself at risk. The wonderful news is that avoiding these mistakes is surprisingly simple, and once you do, you'll be able to enjoy eggs in ways that genuinely benefit your body. If you've been overcooking your eggs, try lowering the heat to preserve their valuable nutrients and avoid harmful oxidation. If you've been eating them raw or undercooked, consider switching to fully cooked eggs to reduce foodborne illness risk. Proper storage remains equally important. Keeping cooked eggs refrigerated and handling them carefully prevents bacterial growth. And if you've never thought about checking for cracks or using the water test to verify freshness, these simple practices can help ensure your eggs are safe to eat. Finally, using the right cooking oil makes a tremendous difference, helping you avoid unnecessary inflammation while enhancing the nutritional benefits of your meals. Your body relies on the food you eat to function at its best, and making smarter choices about how you prepare meals can have lasting impacts on your energy, digestion, and overall health. Remember, it's not about giving up eggs. It's about enjoying them in ways that maximize benefits and minimize potential risks. Thank you for joining me today. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment sharing one thing you learned and how you plan to use this information. Your thoughts are important to me, so please don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives me tremendous motivation to continue creating helpful content. If you enjoyed this video and found it valuable, please like, subscribe, and share with someone who might benefit from this information. Your support helps me continue creating content that helps us all stay healthy and thriving as we age. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.